Okay, Ian, speaking of problematic consoles, this is an update.
Dreamcade Replay. We talked about this.
Twice we talked about this, I believe. I covered it maybe originally while you were sick in early 2000 and
then we did a
17.
deeper dive on it. And then because we've talked about it twice
because they were on Thunderdome with Steve Harvey to fund this after the original Kickstarter failed. And okay, what is this? This is a emulation RetroPie style retro box. The difference with this one was that this one has a search function built into it where you can search a Pitfall and it will download the ROM for you.
Yeah.
And I said at the time, that's not legal. And the people came after me in the comments and on Twitter saying, I don't know what I was talking about. I want to be on your pod. No, fuck off. I'm not going to advertise your shit for you. I already did it.
I love how these people, whenever this happens, people always scramble to... It's legal, but they don't explain how they've magically made it legal this time.
So we spoke to our IP lawyer. That was the first bad idea they had. Without that, it's perfectly legal to load up a shitty RetroPie style thing with all off the shelf, RetroArch and other emulators. But then they go on Thunderdome, and I had a problem with that because they're misrepresenting. Like, oh yeah, we have 8,000 games on here, or however many. And Steve Harvey's like, how do you do that? And it's like, the producers should have researched that shit and realized this was not good to begin with.
Right.
They go on the show, they relaunch their Kickstarter from the publicity. It's like, because it's like going on Shark Tank and people are going to see you no matter what, even if you don't get a deal. And then they got the deal. They beat out that nice, kindly old woman with her little yarn ball thing, which annoyed me. Because that was actually an invention, not this bullshit. This was not an invention. They didn't invent anything. They didn't write their own code for any bullshit. They didn't do their own hardware.
They just slapped a bunch of bullshit
off-the-shelf garbage. So it was an Atari 2600 looking little console. They were charging, between like $130 and like $200 for different levels or more. I'm not looking back through this bullshit. But they raised a lot of money. If you click on the Kickstarter, they raised a lot of money. They raised, the Dreamcade Replay, one console to rule them all. They raised $228,000, Ian, and they sent out a bunch of early units to some YouTubers.
Right.
And I wasn't on the list because fuck this shit. But that helped as well. I won't get into the ethics of that at this point. That's not the point I'm trying to make right here. But then they had the one more thing that was bad. They had the app that with your phone where you can snap all the games, all the Turbo games on the shelf, all those Saturn games, all those NES games. You can take a picture of it. It would automatically download it to your console.
Really? That's crazy.
They advertised that.
That's right.
I don't think it ever came out, but they advertised that.
Okay, yeah.
So Ian,
discussing that.
So this finally was in people's hands around, I think the summer it started to get into people's hands. And, excuse me, not the summer. It was delayed. It was usually supposed to be December a year ago, and I think it came out somewhat after that. Wasn't the best response to this console coming out.
Nope.
First of all, the console looked entirely different. It was an entirely different shell. It's a generic shell that they branded Dreamcade on. It's not 2600 anymore. And then no N64 sound out of the box. Screen tearing going on. It wasn't properly configured default wise. I watched this video by ETA Prime. The emulation for Dreamcast is not good because you know why? This isn't powerful enough to run some of those newer consoles.
Of course not.
Saturn emulation is subpar. Basically, like the frame rates are terrible, or they were playing it was on Dreamcast. I think it was Sonic Adventure. Like these black bars start coming in. It's just not. It can't run it. So the CPU is garbage. It's insufficient according to this for ETA Prime. Wii U, PS2, GameCube, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast. It might be maybe Wii, not Wii U. But so basically, once you get to the year 2000, it's not powerful enough to do this shit.
Yeah.
So, which is unfortunate. Anything before that, you have a chance, but it's not powerful enough.
Here's one hell of a 1-star review. This is August 27th. So is more stuff just crashing down around them now?
Well, no. I think you can't buy this anymore. Gotcha. I don't think.
Okay.
I think because there were so many problems with this. So if there's a ton of different listings on Amazon for this. I don't know why there's like 20 different listings. So we'll just click on the one Dreamcade Replay with no joystick. 6 reviews if you want to run through them.
So I'm looking at this one. We got duped. Console to fool us all. Bottom line, not what we were promised. I can play Donkey Kong no problem. Could have done that on tons of other emulator hardware consoles, etc. But trying to do Quake 2 or Diddy Kong Racing on N64, unplayable, choppy, sound issues, and tearing. Load the same titles on my old Xbox with the X2 Executor mod chip, and it works flawlessly. I contacted Dreamcade and they offered to give me my money back since it was over a year ago. The money had been spent and gone, and I'm going to keep it as a Windows PC.
The next reviewer, it's a mini PC with a broken emulator front end. What was promised and what was delivered were two entirely different things. Apparently this machine is the same mini PC that can be bought elsewhere. What a shock. You're not inventing anything. Down to the same exact design. Considering I paid $100 for the early bird, it's not bad. However, a mini PC is not what I was wanting. See, they advertise this as a game console.
Right.
It's not a console. It's a shitty little mini PC with a emulator front end.
Yeah, the word console is being thrown around quite a bit.
Yes.
too liberally.
Yes.
Right now, especially like if you go back to the Soldier Boy stuff, those aren't consoles either.
Sure. You must do a lot of tinkering, and even then, it's not worth it. I ended up taking that off and just installed emulators the old-fashioned way. Really disappointed. The next review, poor. Back to Kickstarter, was still stoked for this, but it failed in every way. No sound in N64. No two-player ability, piss poor controller compatibility. Get a Raspberry Pi, you'll save some money and lots of stress. Not a console from Blaine Smith. Not a console. I'm 4 hours into unboxing and setup, still not playing. This is no console. I feel very much ripped off. This is not a plug-and-play solution as advertised. This is not a main plug-and-play solution. It's a mini PC with a so-so front end for emulation. Many ROMs don't run at all, and the mapping for the controller doesn't always work correctly. This is trash. And people will say, well, you go to the forums, there's workarounds, you can fix the N64 sound issue, you do some tinkering,
you didn't buy it for workarounds.
You're buying a product that raised over $200,000. This should have shipped working. This was a cash grab, and it preyed upon people not knowing better that this existed in other forms, and that this was not a console. This is something anyone could have slapped together and sold and done a Kickstarter for.
Right.
We've seen it with the Retro Engine Sigma. We've seen it with this, and we've seen other ones as well. But I'm the bad guy for pointing this out to everyone for this stuff. Ian's the bad guy. I'm not going to interview over your shitty product. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
It's not going to help, and it's not going to help. You're not going to tell us anything that we don't already.
And we're not like other people, and I've seen this happen with other YouTubers where once someone either confronts them or talks to them, they back down, they fold like a fucking cheap suit at that point.
Oh, sure.
They're like, oh, well, you're talking to me. You're important to talk to me. Well, I'm not going to hit you with any tough questions now. It's like, then what is that? You're giving them free PR. You're not
doing news at that point.
Well, you're not increasing your stature because you got this cool interview with someone making a product. If you're not asking them questions that are worthy, you're just then a shill for their product. If you're not doing your due diligence as, I hate to say, a journalist or whatever else.
Sure.
You're not doing any good as protecting consumers, or doing any consumer advocacy at all at that point. So when you look at the comments on the Kickstarter for this, it's not good. The first comment from 8 days ago, a super backer, by the way, wasn't one of the primary goals of the project to make gaming simple. All these workarounds, tutorials, and hacks are exactly the opposite. I backed this project because I wanted to enjoy some old school games without having to screw around with hardware and software issues.
So people were still getting these as of 8 days ago.
I guess there were some issues. I have no idea. If you look at the comments though, which are open, you can see this one guy.
I saw that one.
One guy called Wheat Pasta is trying to help everyone out with their issues. Yep. Going through, which is good for him. But this is you shouldn't be doing their work for this company. That they got their money, they got it from you. You know, they won. They got one over on you guys here. You know, when it comes to this, people are asking questions about how to tearing issues. I'm finally giving up fighting a losing battle and trying to get this thing to work. Spend more time fixing it than playing it. Even once you finally get it working, something else goes randomly wrong, which you have to research to fix.
Careful sharing your negative opinions of this POS. They will block you. Mine now sits on my kid's desk with MS Word installed. I basically spent $240 on word processor.
Seriously, how the hell didn't anyone notice there were big problems with it before launch? Something like the N64 not having sound. No, that just means you didn't test it at all at that point. You just didn't test it.
Or you did and you didn't care.
Or that. You got your money, you don't care.
I'm more of that. I think that's probably the truth.
It will now have to sit in the cupboard in the hope that the major promised update in several months fixes the usability problems. I pray that they fix it. They gotta get a software guy to do it.
Has anyone even talked about the search bar? Is the search bar even included in this now?
Well, you can search though.
Okay.
They still claim that's somehow legal, that it's pulling the ROM from, I think, Web Archive or whatever. But they never did the app for that.
So, but there is still the search bar. Anyways, I mean,
this is a great one. This is a great one, Ian. This gets better. I don't know how we didn't talk about this before. This came to mind when this happened. Last week, I emailed shipping@dreamcade.com with a return refund inquiry. Has been instructed here and elsewhere, but I haven't gotten a reply. Is there somewhere else I'm supposed to contact, or is that still the correct address? Dream Arcades replied, unfortunately, we can't offer refunds to Kickstarter backers at this time. Refunds were only an option for pre-orders in a 30-day window. However, if you're having trouble with your unit, contact us. That's bullshit. You can find out who this person is and get their fucking money back. You can go through a return. You can do that. I've worked with Kickstarter before. There's nothing in the system that can't say you can't go around it or work within it. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. They just want tons of people to do this, and then all their money goes back to the people for a shitty product.
Really, what this all comes back around to very easily is just don't stop it with these consoles. Don't buy them. Don't make them.
Seems like they slowed down a little bit in 2018, but with the Soulja Boy thing, now Pandora's box is reopened.
Well, I mean, we've got our console in the works, so.
Oh, see you console coming. Jesus Christ.
Shareware.
What a disaster. And this is why we do this stuff, by the way. Now these people are, 1,600 people have a shitty console that's running Microsoft Word for their kid that they spent $240 on. It's ridiculous.